My parents spent my $100,000 inheritance without telling me, and now my fiancée wants me to forgive them. I'm 26M, the youngest of four siblings. My parents own a family-run bakery that's been passed down for 3 generations. Growing up, I was told by my grandparents that they had set up a trust fund for each of us kids, $1,000 each, to ensure we had a solid start in life. My older siblings, 2 sisters and a brother, all in their 30s, accessed their trusts when they turned 18. Unfortunately, they blew through the money quickly. My sisters on lavish vacations, cars, and some failed business ventures, and my brother on gambling debts. Unlike my siblings, I worked hard through high school, saving up over $15,000 from part-time jobs and odd work around the neighborhood. I wanted to make the most of my inheritance and had big plans. I was going to graduate college debt-free, invest in a house, and possibly start my own business. When I turned 18, I asked my parents for access to the trust fund my grandparents had left for me. Instead of handing over the money like they did for my siblings, my parents asked me to wait until dinner, where we'd discuss it as a family. That night, I sat at the table with my parents, my siblings, and their kids, completely clueless about what was coming. My mom began by saying how proud they were of me for being responsible and thoughtful about my future. But then, they dropped the bombshell. My trust fund was almost completely gone. My parents explained that they had used the money to help the family. Specifically, they covered some of my siblings' financial crises, paying off my brother's gambling debt, helping my sister after her divorce, and even footing the bill for a new roof on my sister's house. They also admitted to covering daycare and medical expenses for my nieces and nephews. I sat there, stunned. "How much is left?" I asked. My dad hesitated before mumbling, "About $4,000. They had spent $96,000 of my inheritance. I was furious. "So you're saying everyone got to benefit from the money except the person it was meant for? My siblings wasted their own inheritances, and now mine is gone too?" My mom gave me a pleading look and said, "We're a family. Sometimes sacrifices have to be made. We need you to understand that this was necessary to keep us all afloat." I stood up, looked at each of them, and said, "This wasn't your decision to make. That money was my grandparents' legacy to me, and you stole it." Then I walked out. Over the years, I managed to pick up the pieces. I worked through college using my savings and scholarships, eventually starting my own landscaping business. Today, I have a thriving company with 10 employees, and I've built everything I have without a single cent from my trust fund. My family, however, has tried to reconnect. My siblings have sent letters apologizing and inviting me to family events. My parents have mailed gifts and cards asking me to visit. I've ignored every single one. Fast forward to now. I'm engaged to an amazing woman, and our wedding is in a few months. Recently, she admitted something that shook me. A month ago, she had reached out to my family behind my back. She wanted to help me heal by rebuilding bridges and had even met them in person to discuss how they could be part of our wedding. When she told me this, I felt a mix of betrayal and anger. She knew how much pain my family had caused me, yet she went behind my back to involve them. She said she didn't tell me earlier because she was afraid I'd call off the wedding. Now I'm at a crossroads. My fiancé wants me to forgive my family and invite them to the wedding so I can close this chapter of my life. She believes it's the right thing to do for my mental health and our future together. But how can I forgive people who not only stole from me, but also justified it as being for the greater good? I built my life from the ground up while they benefited from the money that was meant to help me. I love my fiancé, but this situation has reopened old wounds. I don't know if I can move past this or if I even want to. What would you do if you were in my shoes?